Hi friends, today we will see the third topic, that is silent features of International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, that is called as ICBN. So here, as the syllabus is defined by the university, we will see the point of syllabus: identification of plants, nomenclature, binomial nomenclature of plants, and principles of ICBN. Now, as far as the plant identification is concerned, before the middle of the 18th century, plant names were usually polynomials, means it is made up of several words in a series, and this was superseded by the binomial system, which was first applied for the plant kingdom by Linnaeus in his Species Plantarium. It was Linnaeus who proposed the elementary rules of naming plants first in 1737 in his Critica Botanica, and then in 1751 in Philosophia Botanica. Elementary rules were framed to save or to serve as a guide of botanists later in 1813. A.P. de Candolle, in his theories Elementary de la Botanique, gave a detailed set of rules regarding plant nomenclature. Then Alfonso de Candolle convened an assembly of botanists of several countries to present a new set of rules. Candolle convened the first International Botanical Congress held in Paris in 1837. Subsequent meetings of the International Botanical Congress were held in 1892. It was named by the respective meetings. Then, international acceptable rules of plant nomenclature was reached in 1930 at the IBC, that is International Botanical Congress meeting at Cambridge, where for the first time in botanical history a code of nomenclature came into being, and that was international in function as well as in name. This code is called the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. In short form, it is also called as ICBN. The modifications or amendments as suggested by the International Botanical Congress at the subsequent meetings have been incorporated in the ICBN on a regular basis. Almost every plant has a common name. Common or local names of plants vary from place to place and language to language, and that's why this identification of plant is very much important or required. Now, very often a single plant is known by several names as well as the same name is applied to many plants, and this creates many problems regarding identification of plants. A basic need of application of correct names to the plants becomes very much important, and this is known as plant nomenclature. Determination of correct scientific name to a known identified plant or taxon. The scientific names are simple, short, and easy to remember and followed all over the world. They are printed in italics and underlined when typed or handwritten. So in simple language, the botanical names should be very simple. They should be very short instead of polynomials, and it should be easy to remember. Now they are printed in italics, and when written, they should be underlined whenever it is handwritten. The process of scientific naming is methodical and provides means for the international communication. This process follows ICBN, that is the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and these scientific names remain unchanged in all the countries in the world. The rules for naming the plants are framed by the IBC, that is International Botanical Congress, and these rules together form International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now, this binomial nomenclature of plants or botanical nomenclature of plants, in this there is phenomenon of two names, but at present each kind of plant is given a generic name and followed by a specific name, or it is also called as epithet. The generic name is a noun, and the specific epithet is an adjective indicating which of the several members of the genus has been considered. The genus name is always capitalized, but in the modern tendency, it is not to capitalize the specific name regardless of the derivation. Binomials are frequently descriptive of the plant and are usually derived from the Greek or Latin. For example, Helianthus anus, here it is, for the name of sunflower. So kingdom Plantae, this binomial nomenclature follows the pedagogy, that is, it is grouped in separate groups like kingdom, division, subdivision, class, subclass, series, etc. So during its classification or naming the binomial nomenclature, after proper classification, as we see, the genus name and its species name. So here all the genus, it may be Tridex, it may be Helianthus, it may be other, they are grouped in one family, that is Asteraceae. So similar group of genus are grouped into Asteraceae, and similar species are grouped into same genus. So here the genus name Helianthus, in this its generic name, only the first letter, that is H, should be capital and other letters are small. While in species, all letters are small, but it should be underlined when handwritten and when they are typed, that time it is used to be italic. So that is the requirement of these rules. Now in a binomial, when written should always be underlined and when printed they must be italicized. The name or the abbreviated name of the scientist who first described the species follows the binomial, such as in the coffee arabica, the Lin stands for the name of the great taxonomic scientist, that is Linnaeus. Some binomials are followed by two names, the first of which is written with the brackets. Here it is. And second one is after the bracket. So the name within bracket is that of the person who first discovered. The person who discovered at the beginning, at first, and is that of the person who first described the species. The name which follows the parenthesis is that of the person who is responsible for the currently recognized binomial. The reason for such a author citation aids the taxonomist in finding the original and subsequent descriptions of a plant whenever it is necessary, and to avoid confusion when the different workers use the same binomial accidentally to name different species. And so for that purpose it's important. Now the principles and rules of ICBN. The present code is divided into three divisions. The first division is of principles. It provides a set of 6 basic guiding principles from the basis of the system of nomenclature. The division second, it is rules and recommendations. It consists detailed rules distributed above 75 articles and 57 recommendations and several notes and examples. The third division, that is of provisions for the governance of the code, and it consists detailed provisions for modifications of the code. So this is the outline of the principles and rules of ICBN. Now we'll see one by one. The principle first, in this, botanical nomenclature is dependent of zoological and bacteriological nomenclature. So this is not having any relationship or dependency on zoological, bacteriological or any further nomenclature system. It is quite independent and separate. The code applies equally to the names of taxonomic groups treated as plants. Whichever the plants there are, these rules are applied for all the plants. Now in the principle second, names is determined by means of nomenclature types. Third principle it indicates the nomenclature of taxonomic group is based upon priority of publications. Principle fourth is for each taxonomic group bear only one correct name, the earliest that is in accordance with the rules. So each and every plant will having only a single correct name, and that name, if it is also followed since last, then it should be with rules and regulations of ICBN. Now principle fifth, the scientific names of the taxonomic groups are treated as Latin regardless of their division, regardless of their region or location. Principle 6 is for the rules of nomenclature are retroactive unless express limited. So retroactive means these rules are applied for the plants who have worked earlier than this ICBN. Now the rules and recommendations in division second, all these plants which belongs to one genus must be described by the same generic name. It should be same in one generic name. The person who establishes a new genus should give it a name. He is having authority to nomenclate, to give a name to the new species, new genus. Generic names which indicate essential characters of appearance of the plant are the best names. Fourth one, the generic names which are very long, unpleasant and difficult to pronounce must be avoided. The specific name must be distinguish the plant from all the relatives. Next, the size does not distinguish the species, whatever may be the number of species, but when they are showing some close resemblances, relations in between them, then they should be included into same genus or same species. The original place of plant does not give specific difference. Generic names must be applied to each plant species. The specific name should always follow the generic name. Very first of all, there is a genus and then after species name. The word taxon has been introduced to signify taxonomic group of any rank. Whatever the rank, it comes under the taxonomic group and they should come under the binomial nomenclature. The rank of a species, its basic single or group of species makes a genus. So in genus there is a group or sometimes there is only a single species, but it is belongs to a genus. The ascending order of the taxa is a species, genus, family, order, class and division. So very earlier we have seen the slides. It is get classified that there will be the very first of all there will be the kingdom, then division, then subdivision, then class, subclass, then series, then orders, then family, then genus, and last there is a species. So likewise this, it is in that order. So this is regarding the orders, and that is the ascending order. All generic names must begin with the capital letter, while the species epithet should invariably begin with the small letters, and it should be agree with the gender of the generic name. In most Latin nouns ending in a indicates feminine, ending in us, that is the masculine name, and ending in the it indicates the neuter. So generally this phenomenon is get followed. The scientific names should always be in italics when printed and underlined when written by hands. The name of the family is a plural adjective used as a substantive, and it is formed by adding the suffix AC to the stem of the legitimate name of an included genus. Example, Malvaceae from genus Malva, or Rosaceae from genus Rosa. So likewise this, the rules are get followed. Each taxonomic group with a particular position and rank can bear only one correct name, that is we have seen, and publication is effected only by distribution of printed matter to a botanical institutions, libraries, etc. That is, the publication in a local newspaper or cyclostyled matter, etc., are not effective. The name of the taxon must be accompanied by a Latin diagnosis. Name of taxon should be made accurate and complete, and it is necessary to cite the name of author who first widely published the name or its concern. For example, in hibiscus, the next letter, that is L, it cites for the lineage. So this is about the rules. Uh, in further, a name must not be rejected merely because it is inappropriate or disagreeable. The superfluous names, that is when same name is already exist, to be rejected, or the homonym, that is same name given to another taxon, is to be rejected. If the name is not in accordance with the rules of botanical nomenclature, that is ICBN, then it is to be rejected. If the specific name, that is the epithet, repeats exactly the generic name, that is called as tautonymy, and then also it is to be rejected. So these are the rules. So here we complete the plant identification, binomial nomenclature, and then it's a principles and rules of binomial nomenclature. I hope you might have understand. Okay, thank you.